High expectations are killing your vibe. Think about it. We all set these expectations, even high expectations, but then oftentimes things come up short. Think about it, whether you're meeting friends, you might have one friend that shows up late, the other one cancels last minute. Your expectation was to have this great time. Now all of a sudden the reality is below that expectation. You all of a sudden get this new job. You're like, this is gonna be great. Pays an extra $10,000 a year. I can't wait. First week you reflect back, your expectation was here. You ended up coming here. You thought it was gonna be fun. You were gonna learn, they were gonna train you. Come to find out there was no training. The girl next to you in the cubicle is always complaining. Expectations kill your vibe. How do they do it? Well, they do it because whenever we think about expectations, always realize your emotional response is definitely related to where your perception of reality meets or beats those expectations you set. If your expectation is low and you meet, beat, or exceed it, the emotional response is happiness, joy, elation. You feel like, wow, this is great. Like, I thought this restaurant was gonna be okay, but it's absolutely amazing, okay? So where you set your expectations is within your control. However, when you set high expectations, the higher you set them, the more of a likelihood you have to not meet or beat them. In other words, feel a lower vibe emotional response, anger, frustration, disappointment, okay? So I urge you to think about one thing. First of all, I wanna explain this. Why do we set expectations? Because a lot of times you ask yourself, why do I even put myself at risk? Why not have no expectations? Well, yes, you should do that. But understand the reason why your brain and your mind, you want to go into that default mode of setting high expectations. It's because the brain loves predictability. It loves to know what's going to happen before it happens. Because don't forget, the deepest part of your brain is designed to keep you alive. And the only way, or not the only way, but the best way it can do it is to predict the future and to create the future instead of wondering what may happen. So your brain's default mode is to set expectations. So let's become more consciously aware. You can become more consciously aware by setting a trigger and saying, oh, wait a minute, I can sense that I'm setting expectations. I hope this restaurant's great. I hope this job really performs up to its standards. You can hope, and you can want, and you can desire. However, when you become a little too concrete and define what that hope and desire looks like in a very concrete way, now all of a sudden you start to begin to set those expectations. Instead of expectations, set intentions. An example would be this. This new job is gonna be interesting. I love that I'm getting paid more. I intend to go into it with an open mind. I intend to do my best and try to make this job a new future career path for me. I intend. An intention is more open-ended. It's more process-based instead of outcome-based like a high expectation would be. Set an intention to have fun with your friends no matter what happens. Whether one cancels, one shows up late, even if none of them show up. Say, I intend to have a great Friday night. And just do that. So take action. This tip is huge. I promise you, you may not even realize you're doing this. Even if it's an athletic performance and you're setting yourself to expect a certain outcome. Even if you're working out and you expect to work out for 30 minutes without being exhausted, but at minute 22, you're exhausted. There's so many instances where we subconsciously, without even thinking about it, set these expectations. Sometimes they're conscious, but oftentimes they're subconscious. So I promise you, and I highly urge you to try this. See if you can challenge yourself to avoid expectations. If you need to invite intentions, perfect. They're open-ended, they're process-based, and I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Dr. Jake Kavanaugh of The Vibe Mindset. Don't forget to subscribe. We've got 2 other videos up here, of course. Thank you so very much. You guys are great. And put this tip into motion. Put it into action today. You'll see a change immediately. Thank you so much.